I have to comment on your jacket. It's like so fun.
Right? It's so fuzzy and soft too. Oh, there's like fuzz on it.
I love it.
Me too.
It's like instant dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Like looking at it. Right? Like, do I need that?
And it's like so warm and cozy. I mean, I don't really need it in here today. It's warm in here, but
I know, it's weird too because it was so much hotter yesterday, but like it was cooler in here.
Yeah.
And then today it's like cooler outside, it's warmer in here. I'm not really sure.
I think they've got the heat cranking. It is that.
Oh yeah, it was making like weird clicking noises in my room yesterday because we have like the radiators at the bottom, you know?
Yeah.
And so it like goes behind where my little fake fireplace is.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was like,
that too.
is there like a mouse
or
something behind that bookshelf I have in there?
Yeah, I feel like every time that like clicks on, there's like a moment of like Marty every year, the first time it clicks on, he like barks at the heating poles, and I'm like, buddy, this is going to be a daily occurrence. We
relax,
used to this.
relax.
Yeah, like, this is...
I threw like a little like water bottle cap at the bookshelf just in case
something like
scattered.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, so I was like, oh, it must be that. But I was just like,
oh my god. Yeah. I forgot what the heating pole sounded like.
Well, and also, so that fireplace in my room, it like has like a stopped up like flue.
Yeah, so does mine.
And sometimes like shit'll fall down it.
Yeah.
And the first time I realized what that was, I was like, what in the fuck is happening?
Yeah, like, what raccoon?
What
like,
is living in here? And then
Yeah.
I realized it was just like stuff from the brick, I guess, like, or whatever, falling onto the little stopper. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's all right. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Minor aneurysm.
I have that too in mine. It like when it rains really hard, sometimes like you can hear it like pelting down.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know like where and how.
Where that comes from.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's not all the time.
It's very rarely.
Yeah.
But when it does happen,
like it has to be like a big storm and things get like
rattled
up in
around.
there. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the joys of living in
I know. And New York City apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stories.
Yeah. Well, it is a week away from Thanksgiving, and we're going to be posting this on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So this is like technically kind of our Thanksgiving episode.
I feel like we need turkey legs.
I know. Like I wish I have ordered us turkey legs.
Yeah.
But we don't have.
We don't have them
Maybe
here.
we'll take some video of the turkey legs so we can have like, turkey leg video. I got smoked turkey legs because I was gonna like make them myself, and then I saw they had like pre-cooked smoked ones. And last year, my dad has a Traeger smoker that he got that he's like obsessed with.
Is that the egg one, the green one?
No, I think that's like literally called the egg. It's like kind of like a dome. I think it's gray. I don't know, but it's kind of like a dome
I feel like
that
I've
like
heard.
lifts up. Yeah, it's like it's like a brand. It's a thing. It's
my dad has the smoker in
Yeah.
his like backyard kitchen.
Yeah, and so it's new. So we smoked the turkey.
Right.
And oh my god, it was the best. Like I could take or leave turkey. It's fine.
Yeah.
But this was so good, and then we used it to make these collard greens with smoked turkey. That's what I'm gonna do this year.
Yeah.
And then I did with the like leftover turkey like scraps. I do turkey soup.
Oh, I've had the turkey soup. It's good.
It's I mean, and I do like make the stock and do the whole thing. But with the smoked turkey, that like super smoky flavor, it was so good.
My dad one year did 2 smoked turkeys.
Oh,
like,
wow.
got little ones. And did one that was like spicy Cajun-y smoked and one that was like traditional. And I don't know if this is every family, but like the meat is like a thing.
Right.
And like you have to like plan like a week of your life around the meat and making the meat and making sure the meat gets there wherever the fuck we're going.
Right.
And like My dad was like waking up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to like smoke these turkeys.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. Like
because it takes so long.
It takes forever. Yeah. Like, and last year we just did like our like immediate family, so it didn't matter. We weren't going anywhere, so we just had to like get up and cook it. Like, I mean, you still have to do it early because it takes so long.
Yeah,
it's like a 6 or 8 hour process or something crazy.
And like. It says like 6 hours. It's gonna be like 9. Like we've definitely eaten at like 10 p.m. before.
Like I
my
feel
dad
like
was smoking something.
You never know. Like sometimes it takes twice as long, and sometimes I've had turkeys like be done like early, and you're like,
oops.
Well, okay. Like how are you done already? Because if you overcook it, then it's just dry.
You're fucked.
And it's gross.
It tastes like sandpaper or like sawdust.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing about the smoker is it's like all like kept at a like low temperature, so you're not. It's like sous vide. It's not like you're not going to dry it out in the same sort of way.
Sous vide turkey.
I mean,
a big enough bag,
right? Big
enough pot.
They've got to be sous vide turkeys in like restaurants, right? Like that's how they get food out at all the same temperature at the same time.
Yeah.
But then you'd want to roast it afterwards still to get the like golden color. Otherwise, it would look.
It would look like
sous vide turkey. It would be so gross looking.
It needs a tan.
Yeah. Pop it under the broiler for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So we were talking because we did Thanksgiving together a couple years ago during COVID. We didn't go back to California. And we like discovered the difference between like a white person Christmas and a non-white person Christmas. Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Christmas too, but yeah.
Christmas too. Yeah, with the food specifically.
Yeah.
What did we have any sides that were the same? Like, do we have any
mashed potatoes
and gravy?
Mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah, that's the same. And then turkey.
Turkey, yeah.
You have to have turkey.
Cranberry. My cousin makes cranberries like your aunt makes.
Yeah, cranberry sauce.
But I also really like cranberry out of the jar too, just the like gel to like spread on a sandwich. It's really good on sandwiches.
Okay, I've never done that, but
I mean, I'm not eating it by the forkful. That's gross.
Yeah.
Not my jam, but spread on a sandwich like a jam or something with some turkey and mashed potatoes.
All right, I could get behind that.
Delicious.
I just like when it comes out of the can and it makes that noise.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of cat food.
Yeah, it has like the like lines of the can inside. It's not like of high quality.
No. But then like
you are like missing a lot of like traditional, use like air quotes, Thanksgiving. Like you guys don't do green bean casserole.
Well, but we do like our version.
You do green beans, but it's not green bean casserole.
No, it's like in a casserole dish.
Well, I think that's just a serving vessel, not a. You could make them in a pan.
True.
You can make them in a roasting pan.
Yeah. No, you cook them in a pot.
I forget. Do you do stuffing?
Yeah. But sometimes, like when I was younger, the stuffing had ground beef in it. It was like
it was like
picadillo. Which is ground beef and like olives
potatoes and olives.
It's like not.
No, that's not stuffing. It's its own thing. It's delicious.
Yeah, so that was like kind of our version of stuffing.
Right.
My mom does like a more traditional stuffing now.
My dad does his stuffing, which is like everyone's favorite, and he's been doing it for like decades. So he does. It's like a traditional stuffing like base, and then he adds apples and like sausage and celery and like a whole bunch of spices. And so it's like definitely like a zhuzhed up.
A zhuzhed stuffing.
I mean, it's still very traditional in flavors.
Yeah.
And then we started doing the day after Thanksgiving, making like Thanksgiving eggs Benedict. And so you take the leftover stuffing and you put it in you either we've done it where like you make like little like patties and just like fry the patties, and I've also seen you can do it which I've done in a waffle iron.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and then I've made like hollandaise sauce, and you do, we've done it with pancetta instead of like bacon.
Okay.
And then a poached egg and the hollandaise sauce on top. It's really good.
I feel like I need to get my dad into this because he loves an Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, and you always have leftovers.
He's like the brunch king. Like he's the king of the brunch. It's so funny because my family has like in their like retirement and like older age, they have these like traditions now.
Right.
Like every Sunday, especially like during football season, they like make mimosas and they have their little brunch. Yeah. And then they like have my dad just like cooks some like stuff for them to eat, and like neighbors come over and in and out of the house while the games are all going.
That's so cute.
And they do it like every Sunday. And even if it's not like that, like football season is like usually when I'm home because of the holidays, and that's when it is. But, they just like, oh, we're gonna like make a little brunch together, and like,
that's so cute.
I'm just like, oh my God, this is so weird.
You're like, we didn't do this growing
up.
No,
we never did that. I mean, every once in a while we would have like breakfast and like make like soft-boiled eggs. That was always our thing.
We did soft-boiled eggs a lot growing up too.
And those Sara Lee croissants.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the best ones.
Those are good.
So, that's what we did, like, when I was a kid every once in a while, but it wasn't, like, every weekend thing. And now my parents, like, I, like, come downstairs on Sunday, and they're like, you want a mimosa? I'm like hell yeah, I want a fucking mimosa.
This is fun. Okay. Yeah, my parents do, like, Sunday, like, breakfast, too, like, bacon and eggs and, like, a full breakfast. Because they, like, normal breakfast for them is like yogurt and granola.
Yeah, my dad usually makes like a little frittata thing.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so anyways, I definitely should tell him about this.
It's so good.
Thanksgiving leftover Eggs Benedict.
And it's like something, because you're like kind of like the Thanksgiving hangover, so you're like another like thing to make that's like delicious and like uses up some of your leftovers.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. I kind of want to make it this year.
Yeah, we should do it. We have a waffle iron.
Yeah.
You bought me a waffle iron.
I did.
We haven't busted that out in a while.
In a really long time.
I'm not going home for Thanksgiving this year, so we're doing it together again this year.
Yeah, so we've been starting to like plan the menu. I said I'm getting the smoked turkey legs. And we're going to use that to do the collard greens again, because that was so good.
We're going to do my green beans.
Yeah, we'll do your green beans. We'll do mashed potatoes, because that's delicious. And
then we're going to roast some Brussels sprouts and
sweet
potatoes.
I was thinking of doing a mini stuffing so that we would have stuffing left over for the next day.
Okay. We could do mini stuffing
to make the like. I'm gonna itch. To make the
waffle.
Yes.
The stuffing waffle.
Stuffing waffle Eggs Benedict deliciousness
thing.
And then I also ordered, I told you this already, but I haven't taken it out of the cart yet, that like apple, apricot, cream cheese pie.
Literally thinking about that last night, and I was like, I wonder if she ordered that, because I kind of hope she did. So I'm glad that you got it.
So excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is something, like the sweet potato thing, we don't do the sweet potato thing. Like, if we ever have sweet potatoes, it's like someone else, like someone's girlfriend or something brings them.
Gotcha.
Because
you don't do sweet potatoes at all?
Well, so my dad's side of the family is Greek, which is like technically white. So like they had like a candied sweet potato thing, but the like whipped with the marshmallows on top and
yeah.
And like whenever someone brings it, no one fucking eats that. We're like, what is this?
Don't yuck someone's yum.
I know.
They're delicious. I love sweet potatoes in all forms.
I know.
I just love sweet potatoes.
I think I just like them so much as like a savory dish that when like you make them sweeter, it just weirds me out.
Yeah, I grew up eating them both savory and sweet.
So because I didn't, it was like, I mean, sweet potatoes don't like play a large role in.
I mean, haven't you had sweet potato pie? Like sweet potato pie is
sweet
fucking
potato
delicious.
pie is really good. Okay, all right, fine, but I don't know. I'm not sorry to yuck people's yum, but like the candied sweet potatoes I never liked growing up, and that was like I think it was my dad's dad liked those with the raisins and which that's a whole.
Oh yeah, we don't do raisins.
Other thing. Well, you're like me. You don't like.
I
raisins.
don't like raisins. But everyone else in my family likes raisins. But that never went in sweet potato.
We do always, whenever like the Cuban part of the family is involved in any holiday, there's always yuca.
Right. Do you do fried yuca or do you do like the yuca with the like mojo sauce?
Yuca with mojo.
Yeah.
So that always happens.
Yeah.
Whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, like there's always somebody that brings yuca.
Yeah. I love yuca mojo. I also love yuca frita and like the fried, like that's delicious.
But you worked at a Cuban restaurant, so I feel like
did work at a Cuban restaurant,
you
so I
have slightly more knowledge. I feel like when I make like Cuban stuff, you're like, oh yeah, I love that. And then when I make Greek stuff, you're like, I think I'll love that, but
yeah, like I know Greek food like as far as what a Greek restaurant serves, like which is like a limited menu of Greek food. So
it's always funny too because like whenever I go to like a Greek restaurant, I'm like, I mean, this is Greek food.
Yeah.
But, like,
you're like, this isn't the Greek food I grew up eating.
It's more
like
than
restaurant Greek food.
Kebabs and pita, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of what you think of.
I also think of octopus when I think of Greek food.
I mean, seafood in all forms because it's frickin' islands. But then my family comes from like the mainland, so like we don't necessarily do as much of the seafood.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
And but the green beans.
So those are Greek.
Those are the Greek ones. So they're technically white recipe. No,
right.
But just foreign, just immigrant people being like, oh, green beans. We could have a recipe for that. Let's do that.
Let's do that instead.
I remember you made me green bean casserole, that like traditional American green bean casserole that one year that we did Thanksgiving. And I was like, I mean, it was fine, but I was just like.
It's not like. You're not having, because there are plenty of like green bean recipes that I like where it's like fresh green beans. Green bean casserole is frozen or canned green beans.
It's like a very specific
it's like kind of
thing.
Like, and it's a casserole, so it's all kind of mushy together. Yeah. I really one year want to try and make like a bougie, like traditional green bean casserole. Like do like a cremini bechamel sauce and like. Do like my own like fried shallots for the top instead of the those like Funyun. They're not Funyuns.
No,
but like those
crunchy
onions are so good. But make my own. I think that would be, and obviously like use like fresh, not frozen or green beans. That would be good. You know what else we stopped making, but my great aunt used to make was corn casserole or like
corn pudding.
Corn pudding, that's what it's called.
That's okay. You Americans they got that right.
Yeah,
because
corn
that
pudding
stuff is
delicious.
Good.
Yeah.
We never
also like kind of a random weird thing.
But I really like that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, corn pudding's good. We always have deviled eggs. That's more of a recent thing that my cousins make. I have another cousin that always makes she's vegan or vegetarian. She makes Spätzle, which is like a German noodly kind of dish.
It's almost like if noodles and hash browns had a baby.
Yeah, the way you make it is like you push the dough like through a colander or something, so these little like noodly pieces come out.
I've had it at a German restaurant.
Oh,
like a beer hall, so
Yeah, I have
that
to,
one
and
in
also
the East Village. I wonder if that's still there.
Yeah, I haven't been there in forever.
But so meat in the like ground beef is the stuffing.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yuca instead of sweet potatoes. That's a little bizarre.
Yeah. We do
green beans. Green bean casserole.
I always make Brussels sprouts. Like I usually do like a shaved Brussels sprout with like some pecans and pancetta. It's really good.
Oh, that is good. I feel like Brussels sprouts. I hated Brussels sprouts growing up because my dad would just like steam them, and they were.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard on like social media a thing that Brussels sprouts when we were kids were actually a different variety than the Brussels sprouts today, and so they've actually like genetically modified them over since like the 80s, so they actually are less bitter today than they were.
Okay.
So that
all right.
could actually... Also, we didn't know, like, to roast them and caramelize them in delicious sauces.
Right, yeah, it was literally, like, my dad
boiled with, like...
nuke them in one of those steamer bags.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like, ugh, I hated them so much.
Yeah, they were, like, mushy and, yeah. But now, because I feel like Brussels sprouts, like, that was, like, a newer thing that I started making when, like, everybody started cooking Brussels sprouts, like, 12 years ago.
I know. Brussels sprouts really had, like, a renaissance.
Yeah, they did. Like, everyone was doing...
And I'm here for it. Yeah. The kale thing, I was never really that into.
I liked kale chips, but, like, not a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of too... It's, like, so little bang for your buck on a kale chip.
Yeah, you really gotta, like cut off the
it's
ribbing.
So
and,
hard.
Kale is just fibrous.
Yeah, and it's so bitter if you don't.
Yeah, like
massage
it in oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that didn't have the staying power of the Brussels sprout.
Yeah, I much prefer a Brussels sprout. I feel like cauliflower had a little bit of a...
Oh, yeah, because cauliflower steaks and stuff, or riced cauliflower.
Yeah, that was...
Cauliflower pizza crust.
Yes, cauliflower, like, mash.
Yeah.
So that was, like...
The low-carb thing.
Right.
The keto thing.
The keto.
Really brought cauliflower. I mean, I like cauliflower.
Yeah, I do too. I pretty much... any vegetable, if you, like, roast it in some olive oil, delicious. Yeah, I'm excited. I love Thanksgiving just for the eating. Like...
Oh, yeah.
It's, a good excuse to, like, cook a bunch of stuff.
And wear your stretchy pants.
Yeah. Watch Twilight Zone, because they marathon.
Isn't there football on Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's what most people watch on Thanksgiving is football. I, however, like the marathon of Twilight Zone.
I'm terrible. Yeah, okay. I feel like that's more my speed. I bet my family watches the football.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do. They're big into football, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember, like, when the football thing started. Like, if it was when I was still going home for Thanksgiving.
Gotcha.
Because I don't really go home for Thanksgiving very much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you pick one or the other for holidays.
Yeah, and my dad made it very clear that Christmas was a non-negotiable.
So there you go.
Like, I didn't go home for Christmas once, and my dad was like...
Never again.
Yeah, he's just like, you never come home for Christmas. I'm like, I missed one Christmas 11 years ago. Yeah. Get over it.
Like, it's literally happened once in the history of
Christmas. Like, the world.
Yeah, of my world.
But...
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
So he's like... I mean, we'll save talking about my dad's Christmas for our Christmas episode.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother.
It's pretty legendary.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
Yeah,
it's
decorations.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thanksgiving.
We used to decorate for Thanksgiving when I was like little growing up. Like there was always like fall decorations that came out. There were Halloween decorations, and there were fall decorations.
Excuse me.
Then there were Christmas decorations.
So, my mom gets really into Halloween decorations now because, it's for Olga, it's for October.
Oh, right. We talked about this.
So that's sort of like her deal. So I don't really know. We had like, whenever we've had the family Thanksgiving, it's always been like the tables and like the napkins and the whatever.
Yeah. Do you sit down at like one big long table, or do you have like multiple tables like spread out that people kind of eat at like all over the place?
It's pretty much one big long table.
See, growing up, I never had the one big table. We always had like, there was always a dining room table, but it was always like 4 people. So then people would just like spread out amongst the living rooms and couches and chairs and just kind of eat all over the place.
We've always done like the one big table, and like when like the entire family would show up, like back in the day when we were still talking to all of them, it would be like we'd have to rent tables because it would be like almost 40 people.
Yeah, that's why we never did like when it was like at its biggest. Yeah, there was like quite a few people there, so we just didn't. There was not a big. Even when like you put the like leaf in the table, it's like still only 6 people, which is like just or 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah, my grandparents had like a really ginormous formal dining rooms, so like that you could fit like 15 people on that table, and then they would like push the couches to the side and like had 2 other big tables because it was just like 40 people. It's a small wedding. Like.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, we were nowhere near 40 people. But yeah, we were just like, sit on couches. You just kind of like potluck style, like in the kitchen. Now, last time I was home, I haven't been home for Thanksgiving. Well, I was home last year, but that was just immediate family. And then, like, the last time I was home before that, we did it outside because it's California and it's always so warm.
Though it's freakishly warm right now in New York.
Yeah, it's like
in the 60s. And yesterday was, like, legit warm.
Yeah, it was, like, really nice out yesterday.
So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a couple Christmases ago it was warmer in New York than it was in California.
Yeah.
Which is freaking nuts.
Crazy.
Global warming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be curious what our weather is like on Thanksgiving Day when, like, if it's warm while we're trying to cook.
Oh my God, seriously.
Hopefully not. As this tiny little kitchen gets hot.
Yeah.
We'll be turning the air on in November.
I slept with my fan on last night.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it was kind of stuffy. And
I mean, I have a ceiling fan in my room. So
that's true. I don't have one of those.
I keep that running, like, literally all
the time.
All the time. Just move the air around.
The weather's been really crazy, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's hope for a cold snap so that we don't like
overheat in the living room.
Jen and I are gonna be like in bikinis while we cook our Thanksgiving meal.
Seriously, like shorts and a tank top.
Yeah.